There's a specific kind of restaurant in the Netherlands, a type of late-night spot selling a variety of fried things a Nederlander might want as they stagger out of a bar at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You'd almost certainly order fries there, thick, double-fried planks they call patat, and they serve covered with mayonnaise or frites sauce, curry ketchup or peanut sauce, samurai sauce or yoppie sauce, or some combination of the above, and a wooden fork to help keep your fingers clean. You might go there for a frikandel, sort of a deep-fried, casingless sausage covered in mayonnaise and ketchup and onions. Maybe you want satay instead, Indonesian-style strips of marinated meat on skewers served with peanut sauce. Or croquetten, a thick meat ragu rolled in breadcrumbs and deep-fried. Or you could just as easily opt to have one or more of the above served in a bread roll. If you were in the UK, you might call a street food stand like this a chippy. Elsewhere, it might be called a takeaway. In the Netherlands, it's called a snackbar, a word borrowed from the English, and in addition to the above, you can pick up fare from the familiar, like hamburgers, to the less so, such as bitterballen, a kind of deep-fried meatball. Health food it is not. But a less unhealthy version of that meatball, a more admirable snack bar treat, you might say, is the gehaktbal, a fist-sized meatball flavored with onion and nutmeg, bound with egg and breadcrumbs, browned in a pan, simmered in its juices. These meatballs are often served in a soft bread roll with mayonnaise or mustard, or just some of their own gravy to make a sandwich called Broodje Bal. An Instagram user named Jasper offered me some pointers about these Dutch meatball sandwiches. It's a very lowbrow kind of sandwich, he says, mostly associated with truck drivers, who all seem to know the best spots to get them. It's a simple meal for people on the road, a very blue-collar sandwich, simple and filling. And according to Jasper, the meatballs are large, fist-sized, redolent of nutmeg. In snack bars, they are often held in a warm pot full of gravy until ready to be served in a fluffy white bread roll called a bolletje. Jasper even sent me a recipe for the bread rolls, which I tried semi-successfully. I don't blame the recipe. Maybe it's because I made larger rolls than it called for. Maybe it's because I didn't let them proof fully, though the recipe warned against overproofing them. Maybe I just didn't do a good enough job of shaping them, and they didn't have enough surface tension to get the oven spring they needed to become the tall, fluffy rolls I was imagining. They were pretty enough, but they were dense and not particularly well suited for sandwiches. You can see looking at the crumb that this is a denser, springier bread, not something that will conform itself around a large, irregular sandwich filling like a meatball. But we're making meatball sandwiches, and a meatball is what I'm going to put into them. The gehaktballen recipes I reviewed almost invariably used nutmeg, as Jasper reported. Many of them also included mustard, either as mustard powder or in a prepared sauce form. Some used breadcrumbs, others used sliced white bread soaked in milk. My initial attempt included the latter, 5 slices of white bread soaked in milk as well as grated onion, and the resulting meatballs were too loose and wet to successfully cook as meatballs. They fell apart. My subsequent attempt, using breadcrumbs sprinkled with a little milk and diced onions, turned out better. But these big chunks of allium don't look right in these meatballs, and I think grating is probably the way to go. Still, at least these meatballs were more successful than the bread rolls. I made the gravy with beef stock and kecap manis, a sweet Indonesian soy sauce popular in Dutch cuisine. Some of the gravy recipes I've seen are made with ketchup or mustard as well. As for the sandwich, a lot of people just chuck a whole meatball into the roll with a little mayonnaise like you see there. Others will slice the meatball into sections and layer them and serve them like many other Dutch sandwiches, with cucumber and lettuce, maybe some pickles or onion. According to Jasper, mayonnaise or mustard are the common sauces, though some people will opt for peanut sauce, also known as satay sauce, which found its way into Dutch food culture through the former Indonesian colony. Well, twist my arm. Satay sauce is made with peanut butter, a chili paste called sambal ulek, ketchup, mayonnaise, and just a little water to help give it a saucy consistency, or at least that's how I make it. And since my bread was unlikely to work with a whole meatball, I went ahead and sliced mine to let it sit flatter in the roll. And I served it a bit fancier with lettuce, cucumber, and sauté sauce. The sandwich was still a little unwieldy, but way better than it would have been in fist-sized sphere form. And it was successful to an extent. The meatball, savory and aromatic, with onion and nutmeg complicated by the slight pungent mustard flavor, but enhanced by that spicy and sweet peanut sauce. The whole kept from feeling too heavy by the fresh lettuce and cucumber. But I couldn't help thinking that the bread was just wrong. Dense where it should be light, compact where it should be high and airy, firm where it should be soft and pliable. The Broodje Bal examples I've seen online, like that video I just showed you, use rolls that resemble nothing else to me so much as a dinner roll. The kind you bake in a high-sided pan that are crowded in together so that they're forced to rise high, light and soft, and just the thing to wrap around a hunk of meat sopping with gravy. So why not use some dinner rolls? As for how to serve the meatball in a roll like this, both Jasper and that Dutch chef had the same recommendation. Cut open the roll, slap a meatball in there, and add a little mayonnaise. And this simple sandwich is perhaps the purest possible example of a Broodje Bal. Soft bread, aromatic meat, rich mayonnaise, and a patina of thick, glossy gravy. Even so, I'll take mine with cucumber and sauté sauce.